There was a crazy clip that came out, and it's just last night from a Democrat that truly blew me away. Let's go ahead and play cut 153. This is Senator Richard Blumenthal on the investigation into the assassination attempt against Donald Trump's life. 153.
I think the American people are going to be shocked, astonished, and appalled by what we will report to them about the failures by the Secret Service in this assassination attempt on the former president. But I think they also ought to be appalled and astonished by the failure of the Department of Homeland Security to be more forthcoming, to be as candid and frank as it should be to them in terms of providing information. And we are going to absolutely insist on the truth and the whole truth.
What did you learn new today when you said they're going to be appalled?
I'm not going to go into what we have learned in specifics. I'm giving you my reaction. And we will have a report very, very soon that I think will absolutely shock the American people.
All right, Libby, what is the backstory here? The Senate's doing an investigation. This is a shockingly honest clip, but I don't want to make too much of it. Consider the source. This is a Democrat in the Senate. What's the context here?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot to dig into with the attempted assassination of Donald Trump back on July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania. It was carried live. I think a lot of us saw that happen. We saw the gunshots. We heard it. I think a lot of us in years to come will remember where we were on July 13th. And there has been very little that has come out since that day about what really happened, what was going on, how this was allowed to happen, the motivations of the shooter who has been killed himself. There's so many tragedies surrounding it. You know, a man who was a retired firefighter was also killed in that shooting. Very tragic. Other people were hospitalized, and there hasn't been a lot. Kimberly Cheadle, who was the Secret Service head director of that program, resigned. And that was also fascinating. And, you know, speaking of Democrats, one of the key moments I thought of the hearing where she testified was when Ro Khanna, a Democrat, said to her, remember when Ronald Reagan, there was an assassination attempt on his life. Do you know if the Secret Service director resigned? And she said, no, he did not resign. And Khanna said, yeah, he resigned. And I thought, she's done now. She's going to be out. But there still hasn't been a lot revealed about the failures of the Secret Service. There were a lot of warnings going on. There were in the hours leading up to it. There was a failure of law enforcement, failure of the Secret Service to confer with law enforcement. There were agents who were not normally assigned to Trump's detail who were there that day, and there were a lot of failures. So I think that whatever comes out in this report, it will be really interesting. And in terms of the difference between, Democrats and Republicans, when it comes to something like this, the failures of the Secret Service, the failures of protection for elected officials, that's something that I think should be and probably is near and dear to the heart of every elected official in Washington, because every one of these men and women relies on Secret Service protection at some point in their careers. And certainly many of them aspire to higher offices and would like to know and believe that they will be secure by the agency that is, tasked with protecting them.
Yeah, that's kind of my read on this too, Libby, is that, it seems like, consider the source. Certainly, I put that clip in our chat on the show, and there was a lot of suspicion. What's he playing at? What's going on? But I do tend to agree with you that at some point there might be a line for most of these people where their conscience and their morality actually kicks in, and they say, you know what, this is a bridge too far, and we need to keep our politicians safe. I have to believe, I have to sort of glass half full this view and not be so cynical. I hope that Senator Blumenthal is actually being sincere here, and that he's genuinely shocked and appalled at what this investigation has uncovered. We came 2 centimeters away from essentially seeing our entire republic be thrown upside down. And so I hope you're right, Libby. I hope this is. I hope that this investigation really gets to the bottom and the truth of what happened, so it doesn't happen again. God willing. Libby Emmons, the Post Millennial Human Events. Thank you so much, Libby, for jumping on this. It's been a fun hour. Really quick. So thank you so much, Libby.
Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it.